So this is the sort of thing that I usually don't do, but because I do not have as much topics, what I would do is I would pull out my phone and ask ChatGPT to tell me 10 different things uh, that it knows about me that I might not know about myself, right? And I'll react upon that. Hey ChatGPT, tell me 10 things that I do not know about myself, that are not on the top of my head about myself. All right, so it says you're unusually principle driven for a marketer. You think like a system builder, not just a service provider. You're extremely language sensitive. You naturally think in offers, not. So this has given me all the things that it knows about me in terms of my business. So that is not the sort of answer that I expect when I am filming for my YouTube, which doesn't have anything to do with my business. So let me ask this question again and make it much more specific. Hey ChatGPT, tell me 10 things that I do not know about myself, or at least they're not on the top of my head in terms of my personality. And I want you to be specific in terms of my random stuff not relevant to business. You could include a bit of my personality in terms of business, but you don't have to be specific to business, but rather be specific to my personality and my life. You have a strong internal fairness radar, disliking the idea of guards expecting money instead of earning it, wanting clients to see real value rather than manipulative marketing. You think in systems, not events. Most people react to individual situations. You instinctively think in systems: patient acquisition system, retention system, funnels, automation. This is again specific to business. But the first thing that it said, you have a strong internal fairness radar. This is something that I try to be fair with the people around me. So let me share with you why it shared this with me. So I was asking ChatGPT that the apartments where I was living in, the guards there, they were expecting me to pay them 80, right? And that was the sort of thing that I had to, clarify if I should pay them or not pay them. Obviously, it is a no-brainer for me to, pull out the money and pay them, but I want to see what sort of impact is it that I'm making. So the reason why I asked ChatGPT is because, if I pay them, it'll obviously help them, right? So, but the point is that usually businesses have set up the salaries. So there's a basic salary, and then the business want those people to be paid from the tips because they are ultimately going to get tips. So this is the sort of thing that I do not like from businesses. So they should, because they're making good money, they should pay them fair salaries, right? And they shouldn't really develop this habit of their staff expecting or begging money from other people, from their customers and their clients, right? So that was the thing that I was thinking. So ChatGPT responded to me that, you should pay them if they're underpaid. And I obviously did pay them because they're underpaid. And obviously, in order for me to fix things, I thought that I'd talk to their manager and I'll tell them that, you need to pay them well so that they do not expect money from your customers, because that is ruining the experience that you guys are providing, right? So, but if I shared this with them, I'd know that, their job could be at risk. Even though if their job was at risk, I should have still shared it with them. You naturally resist psychological dependence. You're unusually sensitive to authenticity. You can quickly detect when something feels fake, exaggerated, desperate, manipulative. This is why you frequently adjust wording in copy to remove desperation, exaggeration, fluff. I think he's right. I'm unusually sensitive to authenticity, and I can judge when it's fake, exaggerated, desperate, or manipulative. You carry a quiet responsibility mindset. Even when you are asking philosophical or ethical questions, the tone suggests something deeper. You often feel a personal responsibility to act correctly. Exactly, that is my way of living. I want to live in a way that is responsible, that is about making a change, about changing things the right way. You secretly enjoy understanding people more than you admit. I think I do because I'm really good at asking questions and really understanding what are the motives behind people saying something, and not exactly learning from their exact words, but rather the reasons behind the words said in a specific way. You dislike social games, unnecessary hierarchy, fake politeness, people pretending, indirect communication. Even when I want to be polite to people, I sometimes stay cold because I cannot really fake that politeness and that being oversweet with people, and when someone is being oversweet for no reason, I could sense that and I could really see what is the motive behind that. You have a builder mentality. Some people are optimizer, you are more of a builder. Again, business specific, you have a hidden philosophical side, more implications, ethical behavior, religious perspectives on everyday situations, self-reflection questions. I can obviously see ChatGPT here is, exaggerating things. You value competence more than status. Exactly. This is so much relevant. And I couldn't have this on the top of my mind. People say that, because they had this status, that is why things became easier for them, because they had connection with someone in the government side of things, and that is why they were able to get out of the airport without being in lines. So that is not the sort of things that impress me, because I believe that everyone should get out of the airport without the hassle, right? So if you have used your connections, those are not the sort of things that are going to impress me, because those are the sort of things that are ultimately ruining our society. People, worshipping to gain power, people worshipping to have this sort of status and sort of building these connections. This is the sort of thing that I do not like. So these are the sort of things that ChatGPT shared with me, and I hope that you can learn anything about myself from the chats that I've been feeding to ChatGPT.